Welcome to Avalon State of the Arts, where we explore different components and dimensions of our school, Avalon School of the Arts, and its music counterpart, the Avalon Music Academy of Holland.
We're your hosts, Rich and Marie, and we look forward to sharing interesting topics about our school in a fun, easy-to-listen-to format.
Because my mom, who founded our school, taught me, if you're not having fun with this, then you're not doing it right. Well, hello, Avalonians. I hope everyone is having a wonderful week. We have so much stuff going on at the studio at this time of year. So I'm going to be brief. We have an action-packed episode for you here. Just wanted to let you know some of the fun things that have been happening recently. Of course, we had our Taco Celebration Week. So congratulations and thanks for all of our students and families for voting for us for the Best of the Best, the Community Choice Awards. We've won for, it's like 10 years in a row now. So that's a wonderful achievement, and thanks for being a part of it, and thanks for participating. Also, as far as participation goes, thanks to everyone who participated in the Teacher Appreciation Week project that we just finished up with. That was great, just to show the teachers some love, and we really do appreciate them. Our teachers are awesome, and we're so grateful and thankful to have them with us. As far as other projects go, of course, you may have noticed in the north lot, there's some more trees going in and there's some shrubs going in. And that's really been kind of a fun little sideline thing that I've been involved in. So it's given me the opportunity to learn about trees and shrubs. We have 3 different kinds of trees actually out there right now. There's greenspire lindens, some Cleveland pear selects, and the ones that I'm going to be putting in next are sugar maples. So, I can't wait to see once they, are all grown and have canopies and everything. It should just be so beautiful. A whole bunch of different bushes too. There's right now there's some limelights and some sugar and spice, and I have some other ones to put in this week. So it's been a fun project. So for today's episode, we have information about our dance recitals with a focus on Picture Week here at Avalon. Hello, Marie. How are you doing this fine evening?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well, but I'm going to be excited, yet speaking in a subdued tone.
Okay. Why is that?
Because what I've noticed is that if I get all fired up and loud, then what happens is that my voice comes through your microphone.
Oh, so it's a sound quality issue?
It's a mixing issue.
Okay.
So, like sometimes when you go see a band and they have that like screen in front of the drums. So I'm thinking hopefully, this will be enough.
Well, I hate to have you have less enthusiasm. Maybe we could start putting me in a separate room while we're recording.
I guess that might, take away some of the fire and the emotion.
Yeah.
It's either that or a plastic screen.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll keep evolving this podcast. We'll just keep evolving.
Yeah, just see how this does. All right.
New subdued Rich.
Just dialing it back a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, the exuberance is still here. All right, so I think we have come full circle here.
Yeah.
Because I want to say that, and I am going to say, that our first thing we did when we started doing this was about dance recitals.
Yes. So there's always a million things to talk about with the dance recitals. And when we started our podcast, which was about a year ago, that was one of the first topics that we started to tackle. So, looking back at those episodes, I should have made them more generic because I wish I could just replay that one from last year with all the rehearsal information for people this year, but there are differences. So we'll have to record, maybe next week we could do another one where I'm talking a little bit more about rehearsal again, so it's applicable to this year, not last year. So
and then like when we get a bunch of these, we could have it'd be like a greatest hits album.
There you go.
Of recital information.
I like it. But we do have a new topic to cover this year.
Yes, exactly. I've heard chatter. There's going to be something new this year in our lead up to the recital. Why don't you let us know what that is?
Yeah, so I'm really excited because one change we're making at rehearsal this year is that we always have had our photographer set up outside of the backstage area. So when kids are done rehearsing their dance during dress rehearsal at Holland Christian, they go out the door and they have their portraits done, their group pictures and their individual pictures taken right after they rehearse on stage. Well, that was kind of okay, except some families, like, that's a lot. The hustle and bustle of rehearsal and managing all that, especially with the younger students, it just felt like a little overwhelming for some of the little kids. And we're trying to do something a little different this year. And this is actually what most dance studios do for their portrait sessions, is they do them in-house in their dance studio during a picture week, or they have a picture day, depending on how many students they have. We have a lot of students, so we're doing an entire week. It's going to be next week, May 19th through the 24th. Our photographer is going to be here every day and at every time that we have our dance classes meeting, and is going to take those group pictures and also the individual pictures of students in a more relaxed setting, so that everybody can kind of just enjoy the process a little bit more. And I think we're going to get some really beautiful shots of the kids. So
I think that's a wonderful idea. And I love the fact that it's something where you can just focus on it, like you mentioned, be relaxed, not have it be an already somewhat high stress environment.
Yes.
I think it'll be wonderful.
Well, and one of the things, we're kind of making a whole event of the week out of it, because not only will the kids get their portraits taken, but we're going to have that take place in Studio 3. So our photographer has a very large white backdrop he's going to set up. Studio 3 was the only room big enough to hold it for the height and the width. And then we're also going to set up our Studio 5, which is our other large dance room, as if it's the stage. So in that room, in Studio 5, we have the curtains that cover up the mirrors, so that gives the illusion of having an audience there. There's no mirror. And then we're going to have the tape marked on the floor of Studio 5 exactly the way it's going to be on the stage at Holland Christian. So after the kids get their portraits taken, they're going to go and they're going to run their dance in Studio 5, and the room is going to be set up with exactly what they can expect it to look like when they're on the stage. So the color tape that they're going to stand on will be the same. We'll have signs that say stage left, stage right. So for some of our younger kids, and even the older kids who it's their first recital, it can be really disorienting when you get on that stage at Holland Christian. And so this is going to kind of be a stepping stone to kind of get our brains trained to be able to orient ourselves on stage at the rehearsal and for recital.
So this photographer has done stuff with us before.
Yes.
And I want to say this is his second year, third year?
I think this is our third year having, maybe fourth. I should have known the answer to that, but I don't know off the top of my head. But we've worked with Ryan. It's Ryan Jackson of Reynard Image Maker. Ryan is a really well-known dance photographer, not only in West Michigan, but beyond. He has taken really incredible pictures of the Grand Rapids Ballet, Hubbard Street Dance, which is in Chicago, and also Alvin Ailey American Dance Theater, and so which is world renowned. He is really talented at his art of capturing pictures of images of dancers, and so it's really really an honor that he wants to photograph our students. And he works with a lot of dance studios in West Michigan. So we're very fortunate to have him coming and spending an entire week of his time with us to take pictures of our beautiful students. So
that's great.
Yeah, if anybody wants to see his work, they just go to reynardimagemaker.com and you can see his incredible work.
That's really cool. I've been talking to him about doing pictures of music students also.
Oh, excellent.
So this will be a good kind of
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So as far as that day then, what should parents do when they arrive?
So I would recommend, if it's possible, I know it's not always possible because people are busy and they're coming from school or other activities, but if it's possible to come a few minutes early, I would encourage that. That way, we can have a little bit more time to get into our costumes. The teachers will invite the students in like they normally would, but they're going to have their parents come in with them. If you have younger siblings with you, that's okay too. We just ask everybody takes off their shoes before they go into the classroom. And then we're going to have private little like dressing rooms set up in each of the rooms, several in each of the classrooms, so that kids can take turns getting into their costumes. Our younger students, so I would say like dancers under the age of like 10, 9, 8, whoever would need help getting dressed, those parents are going to help get their kids dressed because, of course, Avalon faculty and staff can't assist in that process, and in the little private changing areas, and get into their costume as they will wear it on stage. So, for example, if you're putting on your little tutu dress and it's like a preschooler in ballet and they normally would have pink tights with their costume, you should either bring a pair of pink tights or come wearing them. And then also, all of our, especially for the kids under the age of like 8, 9, 10, tights are included with their costume. So if you were in a pinch, you could use the tights that are in your bag. It's just that they're meant to be reserved for a recital. So if they get torn or something, you'd have to replace them. But we don't want it to be stressful. Like, just kind of use the resources that we have there. Everybody will get into their costumes, and then we'll kind of go from there. The instructors are going to lead the entire process. So they will tell you when to come in, when to get your kids dressed, and then what to do next. So it should feel like the leadership will be good.
That's great. Should the dancers wear makeup?
Actually, no, because the way our philosophy is at Avalon with the children is we really want them to look like themselves. And that's both when they're on stage, and that's going to translate into the way we photograph them as well. So under the age of 10, we do not want the children wearing any makeup on stage or in their pictures. We want them to just look beautiful as their natural selves. And kids over the age of 10, with their parents' discretion, can wear some makeup on stage or for their photographs, but it should look natural. So for example, we don't want red lipstick, dark eyeliner, anything like that. A little mascara, some concealer if they need it. Those things are all fine, but nothing over the top.
Okay. Now, I guess going along with that, how should everyone's hair be styled for picture day?
Okay, so it differs by class. So one thing that has been sent out already, and that will also be posted on that link on the website for recital information, is a full spreadsheet that lists the hair, the shoes, and the tights that are required for each dance. So on that spreadsheet, you find your child's dance, their class, and then you just follow the line across. It's going to tell you what shoes they need to have, which should be the shoes they've been wearing all year long, what color tights they have, and it will also tell you if they're included or if you need to purchase them. And then there's a column that says what hairstyle goes with their costume. So for most of our dance classes, that is a bun. But for some of them, like for example, acrobatics, buns don't really work out really well, especially for younger students in acrobatics, because they're rolling on the mat and then the bun kind of is in the way. So for those classes, it might say 2 pigtails or 2 French braids, something like that. So you'll want to refer to that spreadsheet to see how to do your child's hair, and that also applies to picture day. Now, we know everybody's busy and they're coming from school sometimes directly, especially those 4:30 classes. So one thing I will have set up is a hair station that has some combs with, barbicide, so they can be sanitary, and ponytail holders if you need to go and borrow something really quick to get your kids' hair into pigtails or into a bun. Totally fine. We'll provide that for you. And then I've had a lot of questions on the ballet buns, and if you're not, if your kid's new to dance, or if you only ever do a bun once a year when they are doing the recital, it can feel like a big task ahead of you. And so I don't have it on the schedule yet, but this is going to happen in the next week or so. I'm going to do a tutorial on how to do a ballet bun, and at Attitudes, which is our sister, dancewear store, we have all sorts of tools for bun builders that basically make it so easy to put your hair into a bun that it doesn't have to be a big hassle or stressful. So I'll show everybody how to use those after picture week. So just do the best you can for, it's one of those things too that your kids are going to be adorable either way. So you just do the best you can with their hair. And then if you need help, we will definitely help you after picture week when you get ready for rehearsal and recital.
Okay. Now, what happens after pictures are taken?
So after the kids do their pictures, we'll do what I mentioned earlier in our conversation about going over to Studio 5 to practice their dance. They'll do that in their costumes, and we'll treat it like a little mini performance. It'll be really cute. And then after that, one of two things will happen. Either you'll be all done for the day, we'll go back to rooms, parents will help their kids get out of their costumes. Or if it's an instance where maybe the dance needs a little bit of work or the teacher has some corrections for the students, they'll go to one of the other classrooms and work on that for a little bit. But our intent is not to keep anyone over their normal class time, which for most classes is 50 minutes or an hour and 20 minutes. But there is a chance you could be done early. So either you're going to take your costume off and be done, or you'll go and work on your dance a little bit, and then you'll take off your costume and be done.
Okay, and then everyone is free to leave when they're done?
Yes, but we're going to wait for the teachers to dismiss them. So one thing we do want to happen before everybody leaves is that their costume comes off and gets packed neatly into their bag. All the costumes come with a bag to carry them in. And it's important that once you leave with your costume, you make sure you put it in a safe place where you're going to be able to lay hands on it really easily and not feel like it's lost for when it comes time to do stage rehearsal. Normally, we hand out costumes just the week before rehearsal. Well, we have a whole other week of classes after picture week, so these are going home a little early. There can be a temptation, especially with younger kids, to want to show grandma their costume and put it on or practice their dance in their costume. And we really are going to discourage that because that just opens a little bit of a gray area where there is potential to either lose costume pieces or to get them dirty or damaged in some way. So we really do want the parents to be in charge of finding a safe place for that costume and then leaving it there until rehearsal.
That's awesome. This has been very informative. I am especially intrigued about the bun building process.
It is quite, there's a science to it, but it's not a science that is too elusive. Anybody can learn how to do this.
All right. Well, if you need me to help with doing a video of it, I will volunteer, as I feel this is
I feel like your hair is not long enough for that, but...
Well, no, more over in the technical sense.
Oh, like I could teach you how to do it, and then we could have you do... this is a good idea. We could do like a little video podcast on it. I actually really like this idea.
All right, let's do it.
You can demonstrate that anybody can build a bun. So there's just a couple other things that I want to mention too about this, about Picture Week. And one is that if there are items you need for recital, like if you need to purchase tights or you need to purchase an under Leo, Attitudes is open Monday through Thursday, 3 to 6, and also Saturdays, 10 until 1. If none of those times work for you and you really do need to go and be in store to shop, you can just let me know. I'm happy to set up appointment times outside of that time. But also, one of our graduated students, her name's Gwendolyn, who works at Attitudes, is going to be here all week during Picture Week with a little pop-up shop. So if you don't have time to go to Attitudes to shop there, she's going to have those under Leos and tights to purchase right here at Avalon. So it'll be super convenient. We'll just make it as easy as possible. And then one other thing to mention is the under Leos. So a lot of our older students already know what this is because they have been wearing these for years, but an under Leo is a flesh-colored leotard that goes on underneath the costume. And we wear those for a couple different reasons, one of which is backstage, if a student has a costume change at rehearsal or at recital, they need to have a layer for modesty so they're not completely stripping down and changing their clothes in front of others. And so that's an important thing to wear if you've got a costume change. And then also it can just be like an additional layer for modesty or support for some of our older dancers. And we carry all different varieties of those at Attitudes, and you can go over there and the gals who work there can help get your child fit for when that fits appropriately. And
I learned something new. Under Leo.
I know. I don't think we've ever talked about under Leos before, you and I.
Huh, yeah. Okay.
Well, the more you know, right? I think that pretty much covers it. I think I'm really excited about this. It's the first time we've done a picture week, obviously, here at the studio, so there's always some unknowns. I'm curious to see how it all goes, and I'm sure we'll learn lots of things so that when we do it again next year, it runs even more smoothly.
Well, that's awesome, and that's exciting to be implementing some new fun procedures.
Yeah, I feel like we learn something new every year at Recital that we then make it even, the experience the following year even better, so.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing that with
You are
me
very
and with
welcome.
everyone. That was a fun
Indeed.
episode.
Great.
All right, we'll see you next time.
See ya.
Avalon offers dance classes, music lessons, and theater classes 6 days a week. With over 40 teachers, we have something for kids and adults and everyone in between. You can reach the dance and theater department at avalonschoolofthearts.com and the music department at avalonmusicacademyofholland.com. Where dreams begin is in that magical space within. When your heart and your mind and your soul intertwine in wonder, that's where dreams begin.